2023 is a wash, but there may be some hope for the 2024 Yankees after all.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. This episode is brought to you by Sleeper. Swing for the fences on Sleeper Picks, and you can win up to 100 times your money. Download the Sleeper app and use promo code Locked On, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply, so check out Sleeper today. It's currently operational in over 30 states. With me, as always, is my producer, Steve Granato. Steve, happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Stay successful weekend for the Yanks in Pittsburgh. Thanks so much for clicking on the show here, guys, today. Really appreciate it, as always. And thanks for sticking with us deep into what is a lost season. MLB playoffs right around the corner. We're just over 2 weeks away from the first game of the 2023 MLB playoffs. We got to talk about the AL East's role and how crazy a couple of these races are moving forward. That's later on in the show. It's also Minors Monday. We have all the details on the Yankees minor league systems and what they're doing in the postseason. Somerset about to start their postseason run, and Hudson Valley currently on there. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But first, Stace, we mentioned there's like one thing that is keeping us going here at this point, right? Like we could totally give up on the season, which we have as far as competitiveness, but we could totally give up on this franchise if we really wanted to get crazy with it, which I know a lot of people have at this point. But there's one thing that is driving us to keep doing this stuff, and it's these rookies, Stace. The rookies are showing up. They really are.
Yeah, it's fun to watch them and it's also fun to watch the veterans react to when the rookies are doing things, which is a lot of fun because it makes it more fun for them because they know it's a lost season too. So, these last couple of weeks are kind of going to be a drag for them because they're so used to making the playoffs every year, and that's not happening. And they're watching these kids and they're thinking, oh, okay, especially the guys who are going to be sticking around in 2024. They're like, oh, okay, this is going to be fun to have these guys on the team with us.
Let's talk about a couple of those guys that are going to be sticking around for 2024. How about Oswald Peraza? His last 13 games played, he's 17 for his last 51 with 6 driven in, 5 doubles, and a homer.
Yeah. And
it feels to be he's in the middle of a lot of these big plays, these kind of like game-altering plays. You remember that home run in Boston last week? The defense is totally shining. He's taken to third pretty darn well for a guy who has barely played there at all. Oswaldo Cabrera had a nice little stretch here, his best stretch of the season, albeit just 6 games. But about September 12th through 16th, Oswaldo ended up going 8 for 22 with 2 doubles, a homer, 3 driven in, and this is a good one, 5 walks in those 6 games, Stace. That's huge because Oswaldo was making a lot of weak contact early in the year.
I was going to say, yeah, he was hitting the ball a lot more than taking pitches. And, that's good to see. I like to see that, especially from a younger player. It's not that easy to take walks, and it's not that easy to be disciplined when you like swinging. And that impressed me.
Volpe had been on a downward trend for a couple of weeks here, but finds himself entering or exiting the Pittsburgh series on a little 4-game hit streak, 5 for 19 with a couple doubles and a homer. And how about Florial? Hits in 5 of 6, 4 RBIs and 4 walks. Look, the strikeouts are there. We knew they would be,
right.
But for Florial really getting his first real chance. He's not tearing the cover off the ball. He's getting like a hit a game, but like at this point, I'll take that. And when you're thinking about Florial and potentially being a part of this roster in 2024, all of this just in general is just good news.
Yeah. I think I said that last week, something to the effect of, he doesn't have to hit 3 home runs a game. If he's getting on base at least once a game and doing something and contributing in some way, whether it's getting on base and being ahead of someone who hits the ball and he scores or something, that's better than nothing. And again, consistent play will help someone do things, because that was the big knock on him. A lot of people, when Florial comes up, he doesn't do anything. And as I keep saying, you're not going to do things if you play one game, sit for 4, play another game, come in as a pinch hitter, come in for defense. How are you going to be consistent if you're not going to be playing consistently? So I said, this is their spring training, like preview to spring training. And they're all, kicking into gear now. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, they're all starting to find a little bit of a niche here on this team, which you love to see. Yankees ultimately did win the series over the weekend. They lost on Sunday, 3-2 the final. Nice job by Volpe, that game time homer late in the game. Carlos Rodón, how you feeling about that outing? Obviously, the 10 strikeouts looks good. Ultimately, takes the loss because of the 3 runs.
Yeah.
But you're looking for Rodón to just finish the season as healthy as possible and really just trying to gear up into 2024.
Yeah, I'm happy, obviously, with the 6 2/3, 103 pitches. You wanted to see him lasting longer in a game. The 3 runs, you should be able to win with 6 2/3 and 3 runs, but when your offense is shut down for only, 2 runs on 4 hits, I'm not going to blame him for this. The 0 walks to 10 strikeouts, though, that was looking more like a Rodón outing. And it's just a bummer that this is happening now because there's not much left to the season. So we'll have to wait till 2024 to see him really get going.
Yeah, I feel like the redemption arc is just sitting there ready to be written for 2024. It doesn't matter how the last couple of days go here for Carlos Rodón. Saturday, how about that 6-3 victory for the Yanks, Stace? The pitching staff really stepped up in a big way there.
Amazing. I mean, Luke Weaver, when they named him as the starter, people looked at his ERA and they thought, why are the Yankees doing this? And sure, he gave up 3 runs in the 4 innings that he pitched, but he kept them in that game and, kept it from going too crazy. And then Brito, Hamilton, and Holmes just shut them down completely. Actually, the Yankees pitchers pitched a complete game combined with Brito, Hamilton, Clay Holmes, and then Rodón's first few innings. Sunday's game.
Yeah,
it was a perfect 9 innings in a row. But I was really impressed with Brito, actually.
Yeah,
because
if we're talking about the rookies here as well, Brito figures to be at least somewhat in the equation here, or just on the outside of it next season.
Right.
So you would like to see him take the next step heading into 2024. And 3 perfect innings, albeit, yes, it's Pittsburgh. Don't say it in the comments. We already know. But for that, I mean, you'll take every good thing you can here at the end of the season, just trying to build for next year. Of course, there was some negative stuff there. Anthony Volpe, man, what a scary moment. Last update we have for Volpe after taking that line drive, was released from the hospital, which is good. Boone talked to him, said he was in pretty good spirits, was still dealing with some post-concussion symptoms, which is completely understandable. So we just hope that he can make a full recovery. I got to imagine the season is done. There's no reason whatsoever to even try to attempt to do anything with him on a field right now. So hopefully it all works out for Anthony Volpe. It's just, I hate when that happens. It's just such an unfortunate situation for our game just as a whole. I hate it.
Yeah, especially, I mean, guys are like bigger now. They're hitting the ball harder. The pitchers are throwing the ball harder, which means the ball's coming up off the bat harder. I mean, 100 miles an hour to the head, and he stood up after that. I can't even believe it. So,
always scary, dude. It's always so scary. I don't care who it is. It's. I hate it. And there's unfortunately just no fix.
No.
But again, as we mentioned, the Yankees did win the set, won on Friday night. That 9th inning, Stacey. Again, bringing it back to the rookies. Look, I know that would have been an game-ending double play from Volpe, but he ran.
Mm-hmm.
He ran it out, ended up getting the throwing error, and the Yankees taking full advantage. That's a moment the Yankees don't do for 90% of the season, is not running out that double play ball, not taking advantage, not bringing in an extra run after the fact. So to see them take advantage of that, and it being all the rookies doing it, I love it. I
do. Yeah. That was that's how I felt, actually, when I saw the ball going from second to first. I thought, here we go. And then I thought to myself, oh, right, it's September 2023. It's not the same Yankees as it was. They've won, 14 out of their last 20. So they're ending the season on a good note. They'll maybe finish above 500, which is what most people want. They just want that streak to continue. I mean, the not making the playoffs thing, whatever, but the staying above 500 streak, we kind of want to keep going because it is impressive that it hasn't happened in over 30 years.
The Yankees right now are kind of reminding me of the September 2022 Chicago Cubs a little bit here. Just a little bit. Remember, the Cubs are not playing good all season. Were disappointing. Weren't getting a lot of production from guys who they were anticipating to be getting production out of. And then in September came around and they started playing pretty good. And look where they're at right now. We're actually going to talk about that later on in the show.
Yeah.
Garrett Cole, not his best stuff on Friday, but did what he had to do. Gave up 2 earned in 5 innings. Only struck out 4. Doesn't matter. He's winning the Cy Young anyway. Mark it down in the record books now. Let us know how you're feeling about the rookies right now and who you are anticipating being the biggest member in 2024 out of the rookie class right now. Love to hear what you have to say about it in the comments down below. Leave your questions for Fan Mail Friday. And of course, you can join Subtext, which gets a ton of information, one-on-one text conversations with Stacey and myself. All right, we're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we got to talk about the minor leagues. We got to talk about the Hudson Valley Renegades and the Somerset Patriots. Whole bunch of cool stuff going on right now in the Yankee system.
Everyone should be empowered to care for themselves and their loved ones during the unexpected. That's why our new sponsor, Jase Medical, offers the Jase Case. The Jase Case provides 5 life-saving antibiotics for emergency use and gives you peace of mind so that you are not just hoping that you have access to medication in an emergency. Jase Medical makes sure you have the medication in hand. Jase Medical is simple. They handle everything from the online evaluation to licensed pharmacy, medication delivery, and ongoing consultation and care. So don't get caught unprepared. Save more than $360 by getting these life-saving antibiotics with Jase Medical, plus an additional $20 off by using code LOCKEDON at checkout at jasemedical.com. That's JASE medical.com, and the promo code is LOCKEDON.
Back here on Locked On Yankees. Hey, don't forget, for the everydayers out there, the Yankees off today. Blue Jays in town tomorrow. Big series. Probably the last big series of the year. So we're going to talk about,
actually, the last big
2.
home series of the year.
Yeah, because they got to go to Toronto still. At that point, it may be wrapped up. We'll see. We'll see. Yankees have a lot to do here. If they take all 3 of them, ooh, baby, it'll be huge. Anyway, we're going to talk about that on tomorrow's show. We're going to preview it. You guys already know. We always do that. We preview and give you everything you need to know. That's coming up tomorrow. It's Minors Monday. And Stacey, this is a great time of year to be a minor league baseball fan. People are clinching. People are playing postseason baseball right now. And the Yankees are having some pretty good success already. So let's start with the Hudson Valley Renegades today, Stacey. Hudson Valley, high A affiliate of the Yankees in the South Atlantic League, had a heck of a series against Jersey Shore this past week, man. You and I were watching some of the games, so we watched a little bit of them together before we recorded an episode one day. I was keeping up with the whole thing. Ended up winning the North Division Championship over Jersey Shore. It took them 3 games to do so. And it's their first postseason series win in the Yankees era. So congratulations to the Hudson Valley Renegades. They ended up losing game 1 in absolute heartbreaking fashion. Had a 1-0 lead heading into the 8th inning, then gave up a 2-run shot. And that was all she wrote. They went quietly in the 9th. That was a real tough loss. But that was on the road. So the Renegades ended up coming home to play the last 2 games, ended up winning game 2 decisively, 6-2, ended up going down in that game, but bouncing back. Well, Stacey, quickly becoming one of my favorite Renegades here is Spencer Henson. Had a homer, I believe it was a 2-run shot in that series, or in game 2. Spencer Henson, first baseman, big right-handed bat, and when I say big, I mean he's a big boy, and I love it. I love the big guy baseball players. They're always some of my favorites. So if you're continuing to watch this Hudson Valley run, which they're now in the championship series, just watch for Spencer Henson. He's hilarious. I love it. I love a big guy who just hits bombs. Good to see Jared Cerna get an RBI knock. It's his first postseason set as well. And then the Yankees ended up winning, or the Renegades ended up winning Game 3. Ben Cowell stepping up in a big way. First inning triple. He scores on a wild pitch to tie the game. He ends up driving in a go-ahead run to make it 2-1 later on. And then a sac fly made it 3-1. How about Brock Selvage, Stace? Ends up pitching in this game, going 6 2/3 of 2-run, 5-hit ball, 7 strikeouts. And not only Brock Selvage, but Jeff Gilbert. That's a name we haven't said all season. Jeff Gilbert makes his high A debut, got called up from Tampa to pitch in this series. Comes in, has a bases loaded 1-out situation, back-to-back strikeouts to keep the lead intact, and then ended up finishing off the game. Again, I mean, a debut in that spot.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
I saw the video of that and I was like, wow, that's cool, as the old people say.
Baseball.
Yeah, that's a cool cucumber to come up and do something like that, because that had to be scary. And he was just like, all right, I'm just going to strike out too.
And just the energy level, that's just postseason baseball right there, man.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for. If you're looking, you're not going to get it from the Yankees this year, so you might as well get it from the Yankees system if you can find it. Which, by the way, all minor league baseball postseason games are free to stream on MILB TV. So if you're looking for postseason baseball in the Yankee system, do it now. You can get it for free. It's not going to cost you a thing. Just do it now, and you're going to listen to some pretty good broadcasting, and you're going to watch some pretty good baseball right now. They ended up losing Game 1 of the South Atlantic League Championship. That was on Sunday, 2-0. They will play on Tuesday on the road in Greenville, so going to be a tough hill to climb here for Hudson Valley. Do or die Tuesday night, 7:05, first pitch, and then Wednesday, if necessary. We will be watching the whole way. We'll be sticking with the Renegades, so go Hudson Valley, go Brock Selvage, go Jeff Gilbert, man. I'm a Jeff Gilbert fan all of a sudden. Same thing here for the Somerset Patriots, Stace. Of course, as you go higher, the seasons go longer in minor league baseball. So Somerset is gearing up for the Northeast Division Championship this week. So they will be heading to Binghamton, which is the the Mets affiliate. So isn't that fun? The Patriots will be playing the Mets affiliate, and currently the Renegades are playing the Red Sox affiliate. So a little preview for the future. They're going to Binghamton Tuesday. They will come home for Thursday and Friday. All the games are at 6:35. Patriots kind of started September a little slow. They finished 9-6 in the month, but they've won 7 of their last 9. Coming off of a 5-6 series here this past week to wrap up the regular season. How about this, Stacey? This is coming from the Somerset media staff. Somerset ends the regular season with a plus 211 run differential, which is the highest of any minor league baseball team in the last 2 years.
That's amazing.
Crazy, man. We've been talking about Somerset all year. We've been talking about Somerset almost as much as we've been talking about the Yankees this year. Yeah. It's crazy how good they've been this season. We knew it from the gun. We were looking at that roster to open the season. We're going, oh man, this team's like kind of ridiculous. And even with the call-ups, losing Clayton Beeter right now, we're going to talk about Clayton Beeter in just a second, as a matter of fact, but having him go up, you lose him, you lose a couple other guys, and you're losing Will Warren. You think, oh, this team's going to be done. Just keep pulling off, man. Guys to watch here in this set, guys who are hot right now. Ben Rice, the catcher. We talked about him on numerous occasions. Look out for Trey Sweeney. He's heating up right now. Spencer Jones, after a slow start to his Double-A career, is starting to really heat up. And you guys already know all about this pitching staff. Matt Sowers coming off a red-hot one here on Sunday. Richard Fitz is coming off of a great one. Blaine Abeta's been good this season. This pitching staff is just so stupid. I love it. Speaking of pitching, Stace, wanted to make it a more true Minors Monday. We got to talk Clayton Beeter. Beeter's had some middling success here with the Rail Riders. There's been a bit of a jump and a bit of an adjustment for him since leaving Somerset. But how about Thursday against Buffalo? 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and strikes out a career high 13 Ks for Clayton Beeter. Got out of a massive bases loaded jam in the 5th inning to end his outing. I mean, look, 5 innings, 13 Ks. That's only 2 non-strikeout outs.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
You'll take it. And what I love here too, Stace, is the last time he saw Buffalo, it did not go his way. Gave up 11 runs, 3 bombs in 3 2/3 innings of work. So to see him go from that to this, absolutely love it. The Rail Riders finished their season this week. If you want to watch any of those games, it's on the Bally Sports Live app for free. You can watch those. They're on the road facing Syracuse. They have unfortunately been eliminated from the postseason. They were definitely making a run here in the early part of September. Then the Yankees raided them for all their best players, and they've been just trying to scrap by here to get to the end of the season. But they did walk off on Sunday. Andres Chaparro walked it off for the Rail Riders. So
yeah,
nice way to leave PNC Field. Very, very happy for them. Obviously didn't work out the way they wanted to. They were making a good run, but that's how she goes sometimes. So, but hey, Clayton Beeter, probably get one more start out of him. So hopefully he continues that and wraps it up.
Do they think to themselves sometimes that, man, if the big club were doing better, we wouldn't have had our team. We wouldn't have had our team rated. We would have been able to make the playoffs.
You absolutely think that. You absolutely think that.
Like, damn the Yankees, those damn Yankees. Yeah.
Yes, you do. Those exact words are uttered at times. You're like, man, we could have had a chance. We could have had some fun. You had to ruin our day. Again, that's how she goes sometimes. But again, all postseason minor league games are free. So watch them, MILB.tv, or you can go to the Renegades website. You can go to the Patriots website, and they'll just be there live. Like 20 minutes before first pitch, the link pops up. So it's free. You might as well, again, watch some postseason baseball. It's a whole bunch of fun. There's a whole lot of energy. It's good crowds, man. It's raucous. It's fun. The guys really get into it. I mean, it's postseason before the postseason. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Definitely watch it. All right, we're going to step aside one more time. We've been talking a lot about postseason, so let's do it. The Major League postseason bracket is starting to shape out, but there's still a couple question marks. How does the AL East figure into it?
The MLB playoffs are around the corner, which means the clock is ticking on your chance to get 100 times your cash on daily fantasy baseball. Baseball has never been more exciting than it is now, with studs like Acuna, Freeman, and Bellinger. So you can pick more or less on stats for these stars like home runs, hits, strikeouts, and more, up to a 100-time payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, you can win big. I'm Stace Face 826, so you can connect with me on Sleeper. And just because your personal fantasy team isn't going anywhere doesn't mean that you have to miss out on winning this season. So use promo code LOCKEDON and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details.
Back now on Locked On Yankees. Stacey, the playoffs are just 15 days away. Major League playoffs. We just talked a lot about the minor league playoffs. And the postseason picture is starting to kind of come into focus here a little bit. The AL East has already had two clinchers here. The Orioles and Rays clinched over the weekend. Other teams clinched here this week. Atlanta and LA have all clinched their postseason spots. I'm curious how you're feeling as a Yankees fan overall, like not being, I know you kind of joked about like not having a stressful October, but like, Is it feel weird right now for you not having any sort of like, all right, gearing up for the postseason?
Yeah, because it's been a while. It's been, 7 years? 2016 was the last time, right? Yeah. So it does feel weird. But like I said, I'm just looking forward to watching other teams' fan bases freak out in the playoffs because it's fun, especially when it's a fan base that hasn't been there in a while, like Baltimore, because they haven't been there since 2016. So, as much as people would want me to say as a Yankee fan that I would want someone like the Orioles to lose, I kind of don't. I want to see how far they can go in the playoffs. Is that bad of me? Probably is, but I'm a baseball fan.
I don't think so.
I just want to see. I want to see insanity in the playoffs, actually. I think it'd be fun.
I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
What are, again, I know you haven't had a ton of experience with this being a Yankees fan your whole life. So what is your like postseason viewing habits when the Yankees are in it? Like, are you like, do you just check out and you're like, screw it, the Yankees aren't in? Are you more the baseball fan when it comes to that? Like, I'm going to watch it.
I enjoy watching the playoffs when the Yankees aren't in because I'm not stressed and it's fun for me to watch all the games. When the Yankees are in and they get eliminated, I might not watch after because I need a break. You know what I mean? But when they're not in, I watch everything when they're not in. Yeah.
Like, did you watch the World Series last year?
Oh,
or
no.
Were you,
No,
you were heartbroken
because it was Houston.
Point?
No, because it was Houston and I knew they were going to win and I didn't want to see it. So I saw like bits and pieces of it, but no.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Everydayers know that have been around here all season. I'm not shy of how I grown up and the teams that I've rooted for growing up. I've always been an Angels fan growing up as a kid. So it's awful because this shouldn't be the case, but I've gotten used to this. I've gotten used to this feeling. So, hey, Locked On Yankees fans, hey, welcome to this side of September where nothing matters.
Right.
But so for me, like I've unfortunately had to kind of change the way I experience baseball because of the lack of winning for the team I've always rooted for. So in this regard now, this has turned into the best part of the year for me. And I think that's why I loved the World Baseball Classic so much. Is it's a glimpse of what we get at the end of the year, but you get it right at the beginning, and that's what I had so much fun with. And now I get to this part of the year where I'm like, okay, let me pick a team. Let me pick an NL team. Let me pick an AL team, and let's ride. That's kind of how I've been doing it. Like when the Nationals won it all, I don't think I missed a single Nationals game.
Yeah.
I was all over the Nationals because of Howie Kendrick. Big Howie Kendrick fan growing up. So I loved Howie. And seeing him hit that massive slam against the Dodgers, those are the moments now that I've had to evolve my baseball fandom to get into. And we're gearing up for another fun run. I think the two teams I'm hoping to pick here is Baltimore, you alluded to. I'm also semi-twinsy here, kind of hoping for the bandwagon of the Twins. Royce Lewis grew up right down the street from where I live, so Mr. Grand Slam himself I'm excited for. But I'm thinking I'm going Baltimore and hopefully Chicago. I think a lot of people have heard me talk about the Cubs a lot this season. I've been a believer in the Cubs since day one this year. That NL wild card is going crazy, Stace.
The NL wild card is wild. No, it really is, though. When you look at the standings, go look at the standings if you haven't, everyone who's listening and watching this, because I looked at them today and I thought to myself, I love when it's like this. This is what every fan wants who isn't a fan of the teams that are involved in the race. Like from an outsider's point of view, you want as much craziness heading into the last week of the season, and you want to see everything go down to the wire when your team is not involved. And I'm like very excited about this. I really hope that it gets even more crazy with these 15 days left.
Oh yeah, me too. I think this is my mentality here. I'll leave everyone with this. I've turned my baseball fandom into what a lot of people have in basketball fandom, which is liking players and being around for the postseason. Like, think of how many people are just LeBron James fans. Don't necessarily have a basketball team that they root for, but they will follow LeBron wherever he goes, and then picks like, oh, I like, James Harden, or I like Steph Curry a lot. You pick your players. Like, for me, I'm like, I like Trey Turner. And I like watching Trey Turner play. He's electric. So I'm hoping the Phillies give us a little fun. I hope Trey Turner has a couple of big hits, just like he did in the WBC semis, and sending USA to the championship. Like that. Those are the moments I'm looking for. So if you're having a hard time as a Yankees fan getting excited for the postseason, think in the mindset as a LeBron James or a basketball fan, and you might have a little more fun this October. Just my pitch.
As always, root against the Astros.
As always, you can always just do that. that's also a fair assessment. Let us know who you're picking. Give us an AL pick and an NL pick, and try this postseason the way I watch the postseason, and see.
That's going to come back to haunt me, isn't it? Right? People are going to say you're rooting. I'm just. It's a joke for Yankee fans.
It is. Let us know. Let us know who your teams you're picking. Give me an AL, give me an NL, who's in the picture currently or right on the outside of it. Love to hear what you have to say. All right. We can ruin one of those pictures tomorrow, starting tomorrow. And we're going to talk about that all. Toronto Blue Jays, Yankees starts Tuesday night. We're going to preview that on tomorrow's show, so make sure you hit subscribe. That's going to do it for today's Locked On Yankees. I'm Steve Granado.
And I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. We'll see you tomorrow.